I mean, that being said, I guess I've never seen a bunny in real life holding a bouquet of flowers, but you know what? It's so freaking cute. Who cares? Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Candy Hearts Art. I'm Candy, and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. Okay, here's the thing. When it comes to sustainability, I'm absolutely not perfect. I mean, who among us is? But I still try to do my best by the environment, and I think that's all any of us can really do. I really strongly believe in giving things a second chance, especially when those things have good bones and give you a solid foundation to work with. I've had a few adorable garden statues living in front of my apartment for years now. And let me just tell you, the intense northern Colorado sunshine has not been kind to them. My poor little dudes have seen much better days for sure. They're looking a little bit faded and a little bit sad right now. But instead of sending them to a landfill to hang out for an eternity with neon pool noodles, cracked Tupperware lids, retired live, laugh, love signs, I've decided to give them a makeover, or as the kids say these days, a glow up. I don't know, are the kids even saying that anymore? Ugh, I can't keep track. So grab a snack, get cozy, and come hang out with me for some super cute upcycling magic. Okay, my friends, as per usual, we are starting with the paints. And here you see I have a variety of craft paints in different colors and brands. Moving that to the side, I'm pulling out my box of Arteza craft paints. These were given to me as a gift and they are really awesome. They're much more richly pigmented. I really enjoy them. I haven't used them much, so I'm excited to use them for this project. I know they make craft paint that is especially for outdoor projects, but in the spirit of reduce, recycle, reuse, I'm just going to use what I have laying around. And of course, we need brushes. Cheap craft brushes to the rescue. I like to have something soothing on in the background while I craft, and that's almost always the king of happy little trees, Bob Ross. Hey, how you doing today, Bob? Today I'm going to use this little plastic container as my palette. Of course, we need a bucket of water, and here's our first statue. I've picked two different shades of green that I'm going to mix together to get the perfect froggy shade for his skin. Here I am mixing it all up, get it all good and mixy. As I start painting the first coat of this pretty green, I thought I would make up a few fun stories about these four statues I'm painting. It really helps bring out their characters and just makes the project more fun. So allow me to introduce you to Frogert von Mossybottom III. The third of what? Nobody knows, and he's not telling. He perches on his mushroom throne, silently judging passersby. His favorite pastime is munching on salt and vinegar flies while critiquing your outfit. And those shoes, honey, are so last season, and he's going to be the first one to tell you. So a really interesting frog fun fact, they don't drink water like we do, so you're never going to see Frogert von Mossybottom III lugging around a Stanley Cup. Apparently, they just absorb water through their skin like weird little sponges. Some species can even survive freezing in the winter and thaw out in the spring. I think this would be a huge bragging point for our boy Frogert. He would totally bring this up in conversation, probably twice. And just like that, little Frogert is done. A little storytelling, and of course, a lot of time lapse really helps the crafting fly by. 1 down and 3 to go. On to statue number 2. This cute little French bulldog carrying little birds in a basket on his back, like a backpack. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. I've decided to go with a nice golden brown color for his coat. I think originally he was white. I don't know because he faded so much in the sun and I can't remember because I got him so long ago, but I think he was white. But in true makeover fashion, let's just give him a whole new hair color. Why not? You're a brunette now, baby. For some reason, this paint was really wet and messy. I had to stop and clean it up. Poor little pup couldn't watch. I thought it would be cute to make his little basket backpack pink, so I'm going to use these 2 shades of pink to get the color I'm going for. And of course, just like our last statue, Froggart, this little fabulous Frenchie totally deserves his own story. Allow me to introduce you to Nougat. Nougat is a French bulldog courier and part-time Uber for tiny creatures like birds, mice, and once a chipmunk that sprained his toe. He takes his job very seriously and he is the goodest of good boys. Nougat accepts Venmo, Cash App, and Milkbone for payments. Also, scritches behind the ear or above the tail are perfectly acceptable as a tip. These little cuddling birds are so sweet, but they are so tiny. This was the fiddliest part of the statue, trying to get into all the little spots between them because I'm a little bit neurotic and I just could not leave any blank spaces, even if they're not going to be seen by passersby. Because you know what? I would know, and apparently that would drive me nuts. I don't question the muse anymore, folks. I just go where she tells me. Guys, did you know that French bulldogs were originally bred as companion dogs for lace workers in 1800 France? I had no idea. As a proud mama of a Japanese chin, I have a real soft spot for smush-face breeds. My husband and I have a dream of adding a Frenchie to the family someday, but every time I see an Instagram reel of a sassy Frenchie throwing more shade than a 14-year-old human girl, I can't decide if that makes me want one more or less. As I finish up these backpack straps, I'm totally marveling at little Nougat's transformation. He's like a totally different dog. And in the words of Bon Jovi, ooh, we're halfway there, and I'm covered in paint. 2 down and 2 to go. And here we go, statue number 3. This sweet little bunny holding a bunch of sunflowers. I decided to go with this pale lilac color for her because, I don't know, I just think it fits her personality so well. I believe her original color was a light brown, and since we just made Nougat brown, that's too much brown. So we're making her light purple, folks. And before she gets cranky with me, I should probably introduce this darling girl. Meet Petunia. Petunia is a sweet little bunny, the proud hostess of many a perfect tea party, and a professional bouquet expert. She's usually found in a flower field, obsessing over petal structure like it's an Olympic sport. I don't remember where I found Petunia or how long I've had her, but I do remember falling in love with her little bouquet of sunflowers, so I'm definitely going to keep them recognizable as sunflowers. I'm going to mix this dark brown and orange color to get kind of a rusty brown, which is what I think the middle of a sunflower looks like. Guys, did you know rabbits aren't actually supposed to eat carrots? I wish somebody had told little 6-year-old me before I tried force-feeding them to my poor little bunny Petey. Poor Petey. Poor Petey. Apparently carrots are like Snickers bars for rabbits, just way too high in sugar. So where did the whole rabbit-carrot thing come from? Total Bugs Bunny Looney Tunes propaganda, apparently. Bugs Bunny was inspired by Clark Gable's character in the 1934 film It Happened One Night. Gable's character prop was a cigar, which Warner Brothers replaced with a carrot for everyone's favorite wascally wabbit Bugs. I guess they figured the carrot was more child-friendly, which is interesting because I didn't think they cared about things back then. Have you seen some of these cartoons? They are wacky. As much as I consider myself a free-spirited artist, I am kind of a stickler for the facts, so I guess I'm glad that Petunia has a bouquet of flowers and not a bunch of carrots. I mean, that being said, I guess I've never seen a bunny in real life holding a bouquet of flowers, but you know what? It's so freaking cute, who cares? The darkness of these eyes looks so intense against the pale pastel purple, but I'm gonna go in and add some highlights towards the end, and it'll really make her look a lot friendlier and less soulless. See, I told you, isn't that so much better? Her eyeliner game is on point. Now she's getting a little highlighter on her nose. This girl is looking fabulous. Woo, it's time to stretch, grab some water. Oh God, is that paint in my hair? 3 down, 1 to go. You guys, we are on to statue number 4, and I hope you have stuck with me until now because I have saved the best for last. I have chosen this bright pink, like fuchsia or magenta color for his hat because this gnome is getting the most fabulous glow up you have ever seen. I'm pulling out all my favorite colors for this little gnome. That's right, folks, I'm a magenta, turquoise, and lime green kind of girl, and I don't care who knows it. I'm not sure if you guys can tell just by looking at him, but the gnome is made out of metal, which is different from the first 3 statues, which is super fun because it gives me a different texture to work with. And just like the first 3 statues, this little gnome is getting his backstory, folks. We can't leave him out. Meet Brambleberry. He's a professional garden gnome and daisy wine connoisseur. In fact, his homemade daisy wine is such a hit, there have been literal brawls amongst the peaceful woodland creatures over the last bottle at the county fair. Brambleberry is a kind, gentle old soul. He always smells faintly of blackberries, summer rain, and of course, daisies. He swears he once outran a squirrel, but nobody believes him. Well, Petunia says she believes him, but we all know she's just being polite. And now I'm going in and mixing a peachy tone for his skin tone. I'm using a pale pink and an apricot orange color and a little bit of white. At first, as I started painting his skin, it started to look a little bit too intense. Then I realized it was because the eyes and the hair and the beard weren't painted in yet. Once those all go in, you start to see it all come together. I just love his pointy little ears. I thought about giving him gloves, but then decided to just make his hands flesh-colored. This dude's already got plenty going on with his outfit. He didn't need any fancy gloves. I mixed a bit of pale blue and gray to get this beard color. I think a little bit of white as well. I really love how this color came out because it's close enough to white, but it's not so stark against all of his bright coloring. It's also not so gray that it makes him look like Gandalf before his makeover. Gotta love these bushy eyebrows. So garden gnomes first popped up in 19th century Germany and were believed to bring good luck and guard your garden at night. Some folks think they're a little creepy, and yeah, that's fair enough, but I've always loved them. Maybe it's the little hats, maybe it's the woodsy vibes, maybe I just love the idea of tiny people living their sweet little cottagecore lives in mushrooms and hollow logs. I've always loved dollhouses and stories like Stuart Little, The Borrowers, that 80s cartoon The Littles. I just love tiny people living their tiny little lives. I don't know what to say. I just love how they scavenge seemingly useless human refuse like bottle caps and old buttons and matchboxes and things like that, and they make all their furniture and all kinds of things. It's just so fun. And now Mr. Brambleberry is getting his eyes, and just like the statues before him, he's looking like he's staring off into the void, but I will give him some little highlights later on. So originally, I was going to give Brambleberry gold boots, and they were going to be fabulous, but unfortunately, the gold paint was so transparent, I would have had to do 100 coats to get them to look right. So I settled for bright orange, and I think they're just as fabulous. And where would a daisy wine connoisseur be without his amazing daisy-covered hat? I am going into this magenta cone hat and covering it with bright white daisies. I've gone into straight white because I really just want them to pop. And speaking from an artist standpoint, I also just felt like all of that pink was too much dead space. I wanted to fill it up with something cute. And as promised, here are the little highlights to make the eyes look a little less creepy. It all comes together here. It's always amazing to me how a few little dots of white can change something so much. Oh my gosh, guys, we are finally done. I hope you're as excited as I am for the final reveal because here it comes. Here they are, freshly painted, fully fabulous, and absolutely ready for their moment in the spotlight. Cleaned up, glammed up, and standing proud, these garden icons are serving stunning looks and luxurious lawn vibes. From rusty stash to full-on sass, who says garden gnomes can't be gloriously glamorous? Once wilted and washed out and frankly feeling not so fresh, Petunia the sweet little bunny is now floral, fierce, and flawless. From dusty doggo to dapper delivery boy, Sir Nougat has officially entered the scene and is looking like one pampered pup. And last but not least, Froggart von Mossybottom III. We still don't know what he's the third of, but one thing's for sure, he's first in line for fashion. Let's hear it again for our fabulous contestants. I had such a great time giving them a makeover, and they were such good sports. You guys, I had so much fun today hanging out with you. I hope you had a blast too. Let me know in the comments below if you've done any upcycling. I'd love a good glow-up story. I'll be back soon with another video, so check back in again. Take care. Bye!